NCAA volleyball on the campus of University of San Diego inside the Jenny Craig Pavilion for the San Diego Invitational. Game 2 of the day, it's the Arizona State Sun Devils and the University of San Diego Toreros. Can the Sun Devils stay undefeated? They began the season 4-0. USD with a tragic loss last night against St. John's, trying to rekindle that flame and spark some magic that they had in 2022 when they finished the season 31-2 with an undefeated West Coast Conference record and an appearance in the National Championship Final Four. ASU coming off a win last night against USB, a dominant 3-1 victory. Santa Barbara just had a win of their own just a few moments ago against St. John's, giving the Red Storm a taste of their own medicine in a 3-2 comeback victory. But for now, it's the Sun Devils wearing all black in their gold lettering and the USD Toreros wearing their all white tops with the navy blue lettering and the navy blue bottoms. The starters for ASU, it's Shania Cromartie, Jelly Sear, Mary Schroll, Argentina Ung, a Big West all preseason honoree, Savannah Colheed, Bailey Miller, and Claire Jeter for the Sun Devils. Back deep to serve, it's USD starting first, and it's Kylie Monday taking it for the Toreros. The setter from Post Falls, Idaho, about to get things going. At 6:05, we're underway. She tries to punch on the left side. Ranging to her left is Ung. She sets it up. Cromartie swings, and that's the first point of this set. Shania Cromartie strikes first for the Sun Devils. It's 1-0 ASU. Back to serve for ASU. It's Jillian Neal, the San Diego native, reeling back as she barely gets this one over the net. Here's the set from Monday, and Clark dumps it over. The libero, Mary Schroll, races over to get that one. Swinging is Sear, but she gets rejected. The block by USD, and they tie it up at 1 apiece. Substitute for the Toreros, it's Olivia Bennett, and she's back deep to serve for USD. Jillian Neal comes out of this one as Claire Jeter wants a section of the hardwood to be examined. We've had a few issues with the wetness of the hardwood at Jenny Craig Pavilion. The AC is absolutely blaring in here, so it would be no surprise to me if there was any leakage coming from the ceiling. Nice change of pace for both of these schools that are going through a heat wave currently as this serve goes a little bit to the left. Here's a swing from Sear, and she brings it down. Jelly Sear with the attack. They take the lead 2-1. Back to serve. It's another all Big 12 preseason honoree, and Claire Jeter, the transfer from Texas A&M, a graduate student middle. She sends the serve down. Leaning is Bennett, and swinging is Beach. Nemo Beach with authority ties this one up. Now back to serve. It's Kristen Erland, a middle and a transfer from St. Mary's after growing up in El Segundo, California. Shoots this one across. That's a little too long. A service error for the Toreros. So checking in for the Sun Devils, it's Bryn Covell. And in for USD, we'll see Stoner, a San Diego local from Mission Hills High School in North County, San Diego. So it's Covell on the serve for the Sun Devils. The center sends it over. Beach, Monday, pushed over by Ocean Sami. They keep it up in the air. Monday again, shoots it over to Beach, knocks it down. Nemo Beach with the kill. It's 3-3. Kennedy Ocean Sami, the reigning WCC Freshman of the Week, coming off a great game in which she led the team in kills in their matchup against St. John's. Here's the set. The swing from Sear is wide left. USD reclaims the lead, and more on that for Kennedy Ocean Sami. 18 kills and 5 blocks on the night. She led the team in blocks and kills for USD. But it wasn't enough as they dropped it to St. John's after winning those first 2 sets. trying to avoid another heartbreak like that here as she shoots this one right into the net for a service error, hands it right back over to the Sun Devils. 4-4, and it's Jelly Sear back to serve. Sear from Flower Mound, Texas, named a LUV Invitational MVP. That's the tournament where ASU went 3-0. They've remained undefeated ever since as Beach sends this one into the bleachers. An ace for Jelly Sear. And for Sear, she just keeps tallying up the aces. Entered yesterday's game with 7. Here's another serve. It ticks across the net. Here comes Beach as she pushes it over. Sear with the dig. Here's the set from A tech from Cromartie. Nice stop for USD. Set from Monday. Swing from Stoner. She gets rejected, but the block goes wide left. That's a point for the Toreros. Teeter-totter start to begin this first set. And really ever since Arizona State's matchup against Santa Barbara, which was a pretty dominant victory for the Sun Devils, we've seen 2 very competitive matchups here at the Jenny Craig Pavilion, and it's more of the same here. Beach sends it over, takes off the net. Here's the send from Oog, a little pushover from Colhe. They keep it alive. Cromartie now steps up. It gets blocked. Schroll gets a finger on it. They'll send it high again for Cromartie, who nestles this one into USD territory. Sun Devils get the point. 6-5 ASU as Claire Jeter checks back into this game. Back deep to serve, it's Mary Schroll, the Tempe, Arizona native and transfer from Loyola Marymount. Last season for the Sun Devils, she was awarded Pac-12 All Honorable Mention, as there's another point for the Sun Devils, the service ace from Mary Schroll. Enter this game with 2. That makes it number 3 on this young season for the Tempe, Arizona native. Didn't have to travel all that far to represent her Sun Devils at the Division I collegiate level. 7-5 ASU. Here's the serve. Dug by Ginsburg of USD. They send it over, diving as Schroll, pushed over by Swing from Cromartie, nice dig from Allen. Torero's trying to keep it alive, trying to punch it over is Ginsburg. Another set, another pushover from Monday. Cromartie again, nice dig from Allen. Really good rally between these two. Clark sends it over, Schroll with the set. Bumped up by Jeter, trying to slow it down. Cromartie off Ocean Sami. She does a nice job keeping it in play. The block is wide left, and the Toreros get the point. What a sequence. Just when you thought you could count USD out, they crawl right back and gain the point and keep it within 1 to the Sun Devils. 7-6 ASU. So now back deep to serve, it's Maddie Allen in front of a packed house at the Jenny Craig Pavilion. Sear, Cromartie tries to wrinkle this one over. They'll try again with Cromartie. Ocean Sami lobs it up. Now Monday. Clark way wide left. Side out Arizona State. Bailey Miller comes into this game. She replaces Bryn Covell. Miller, a West Virginia transfer, transferring within her conference of the Big 12. She made her debut against Butler with 6 kills and 5 blocks. This is her first season playing for the Sun Devils. Here's serves it over. Jeter with the bump. Here's Ocean Sami. She launches this one way too far. Attack error from USD. Another point for the Sun Devils. It's 9-6. ASU slowly growing their lead in what has been a very fast-paced set so far. Wrinkles it over the net. Here's a bump from Monday. Clark on the attack with the rejection. It's Claire Jeter. The all Big 12 preseason selection says no, and ASU reaches double-digit points. It's 10-6. Barely gets this one across. Clark with a high bump. Ocean Sami. Straight back. Miller. Allen now for the Toreros. Clark tries to get this over. Cromartie with the dig. It's again. Miller brings it down with authority. A kill for Bailey Miller. A point for the Sun Devils. It's 11-6 ASU. As the theatrics continue from last night for the Sun Devils, they're doing the worm over on the bench, trying to double the point total for the Toreros in set number 1. And too hot to handle for Kaylin Ginsburg. There's a service ace for the Sun Devils. It's 12-6. Nemo Beach comes back into this game. She replaces Ginsburg, who just got ate up by that serve from Yes, that's why Argentina was also named to the preseason All Big 12 team, coming from Sonora, Mexico. There's a dump from Monday. It gets stopped right at the net. Monday will try again, this time with a set. Swing from Beach. Nice dig from Schroll as this one's set in the air. Cromartie off the fingertips of Kirsten Erland, and that's a point for the Sun Devils. 13-6 as a timeout is called by Jennifer Petrie. What a run for ASU to begin set number 1 in the second match of the day. ASU leads 13-6 over the Toreros. You're listening to NCAA Volleyball. My name is Nate Mills on the Blaze Radio Sports Mixler. Welcome back to NCAA Volleyball on the Blaze Radio Sports Mixler. My name is Nate Mills. ASU leads USD 13-6 in set number 1. Here's a set from Monday on the Toreros. Ocean Sami slams it onto Schroll, who has a nice dig. Cromartie now with the attempt. It's wide left. Point USD. Side out Toreros. Back deep to serve. It's the setter, Kylie Monday. Monday reels back, now comes through with the knuckler serve, just getting over the net. Here's the swing from Miller, it's too wide left. And check, that looks like a fingertip for the Toreros. Got on that one, it's a point for ASU. 14-7, the Sun Devils have the advantage over USD. Now serving, it's Jillian Neal. As a true freshman, she played in 20 matches as a serving specialist and had 16 aces on the year last year with Arizona State. The outside hitter from San Diego, California. Ocean Sami with the finesse. What a pancake from Trying to do the same thing is Jillian, and she can't get there. Side out USD. Tried to back up that pancake from with another of her own in Jillian Neal, and it just wasn't enough. 14-8 Sun Devils, as now serving is Olivia Bennett. The defensive specialist from Lexington, Kentucky, as Schroll lobs this one up for Sear as she just misses long with that shove over the net. Did not miss by much at all. She had the vision. It was no man's land. No one was going to get there, but just a little too strong as it's 14-9. There's Bennett with the sweeping serve. And a swing from Jeter is good. That's a kill for the Sun Devils, and they side out. So Mary Schroll gets substituted for Savannah Colhe, the transfer from Indiana. Graduate student middle comes into this game. Here's a serve from Jeter. Knuckles this one over, and Bennett with a great set of peepers leaves that one alone for the Sun Devil service error. ASU brings it within, or check that, USD brings it within 5 of Arizona State. As serving now is Kristen Erland. She sends this one over, dig by Cromartie. Here's the set from Pushing this one over is Colheed. That's a point for Arizona State. Point Sun Devils as Covell comes back into this one. Bailey Miller gets replaced by the redshirt freshman setter and transfer from Texas A&M, came over to the Sun Devils along with Claire Jeter. USD brought out the cheerleaders for this ranked matchup against ASU. Ocean Sami brings it down. Nice dig there for the Sun Devils. Pushed over by Jelly Sear. Monday sets it up. Stoner tries to push that one over. Tries to dump that one, and it's unsuccessful. Torero point. 16-11 Sun Devils, as going back to serve, it's Kennedy Ocean Sami. Oshinsami with the serve, and there's a service error as this one goes a little too long. Jelly Sear now back to serve for Arizona State. 17-11 in set number 1. USD playing a ranked opponent in ASU who's 16th in the country. Here's a bump from Bennett, sets it up for Beach, who spikes it down. Nice dig there from Schroll. Ung sets it up to Cromartie. Over on the USD side, Monday, Oshinsami slaps it across. Ung to Cromartie, and she gets denied by Stoner. Haley Stoner, the San Marcos native, with the rejection. USD trailing by 5 to the Sun Devils. This is the first ranked opponent that the Toreros are playing this season as Cromartie handles that hot serve with the bump. Here comes Jelly Sear. She trickles this one over the net. Monday over to Clark, blocked by Colheed. Sun Devils set this one up. Schroll over to Cromartie, swings, dug out by Allen. Here's another set from Monday, and Stoner is a little wide right on that attack. That's a point for Arizona State. They'll side out, and Mary Schroll will be the one to serve. Arizona State, for now, is the only ranked opponent that USD will play this season. Schroll sends it over, and sending this one into the bleachers is Anna Jarowski, the defensive specialist from Chicago. 19-12. ASU knocking on the door of 20 points. As Schroll dribbles with 2 hands, spins it in her left. Now comes up with it. Just getting it over the net, spinning in the air. Monday over to Stoner on the move. She tries to bring this one down. Recovered by Covell. Here's Cromartie at the net. There's Jeter, who lobs it up to Ung. Swings. Now it's Allen for USD. They get it over to Jeter, and it's blocked by Argentina Ung. ASU reached number 20. From the 2023 Pac-12 Honorable Mention honoree, and a timeout is called. 20-12, Arizona State leads the Toreros in set number 1. Stay tuned after the timeout on the Blaze Radio Sports Mixer. Back at the Craig for NCAA Volleyball, Arizona State and University of San Diego on the campus of USD. Sun Devils lead 20-12 in set number 1. San Diego has burned all of their timeouts. ASU still has both of them. Here's the set from Monday on the attack for USD. Nice dig by Covell. Here's the bump from Schroll. Cromartie with a ton of momentum gets stuffed at the net. They'll try again with Cromartie moving to her back. Now it's Jeter lobbing it up for Monday, who dumps it off, and Schroll scrapes her knee on the ground. Beach with a nice recovery on that bump. Monday over to Clark. Moving to her front is Covell, trying to push it over is Jeter. She does. Monday once more. Beach off the chest of Schroll. Sun Devils try again, and Sear buries it down. Jelly Sear with the exclamation point on that rally. It's 21-12. Mary Schroll back deep to serve again. ASU trying to make it a 10-point advantage over the USD Toreros. Here's Schroll. Sends it over. Bump from Jarowski. Sends it over to the other side for Jeter. Diving is Covell. She gets there. Swing from Cromartie. Dug out by Beach. Bump from Monday. Here's Jeter. It goes off the fingertips of Jeter, and that's a point for USD. Side out Toreros. And they certainly got their work cut out for them. The unranked USD Toreros trying to put up some sort of fight against Arizona State as they look to unleash the dogs, as it looks like they're trying to do on the bench. Allen with the service error. The libero for USD is a little too strong on that serve. 22-13. Argentina Ung scrapes the bottom of her shoes to get some extra grip. She digs in for the set. Sends this one over. Beach with the slap. Here's Sear with the bump. Over for the swing on Claire Jeter. Jeter attacks as she makes it 23-13, a 10-point lead for Arizona State. It has been utter and complete domination for the Sun Devils in set number 1 as they try to cap this one off. Here's the serve from Sear. Jarowski with a diving stop, and another dive up front from Monday sends this one out of bounds. Set point for Arizona State. On the serve, here's Un on set point. Dug by Allen. There's Jeter off the face of Jarowski. They send it over. Schroll with a high lob to Cromartie. Brings it down. Jeter dumps it off. Check that. That is Clark dumping it off for USD. That's a point for the Toreros. Kylie Monday back to serve as Jarowski is substituted for Oceanzami. Monday with two-handed dribbles, sends this one over. A knuckler over the net. Cromartie swings, dug out by Beach. There's Allen sending it up to Clark, who bumps it across for Sear. Sets it up for swung by Jeter, and the Sun Devils take set number 1. A boat race for Arizona State as they take the 1-0 lead over the University of San Diego in their own crib. We'll head into set number 2, ASU up 1-0 after a dominant 25-14 win. Stay with us for some more NCAA volleyball. My name is Nate Mills on the Blaze Radio Sports Mixler. Set number 2 at the Jenny Craig Pavilion on the campus of University of San Diego. It's the ASU Sun Devils and the USD Toreros. ASU with an absolute rout over the Toreros in set number 1, a 25-14 victory. They're up 1-0. We get set for set number 2 as Julian Neal, the outside hitter from San Diego, making a homecoming appearance, digs in to begin the set with this serve. We are underway as she pounds the back right corner of USD territory. Oceansami with a big swing, gets deflected. They'll try again with Oceansami with the finesse. With the diving stop gets there. Bailey Miller bumps it across the net. Here's Monday, who sets it up. Oceansami with some uncomfortable timing there, just has to lob this one over. Mary Schroll over to Bailey Miller, and that one is a little too long. An attacking error from Arizona State. Side out USD. And it looks like head coach J.J. Van Niel will be challenging the out call on the attack attempt from Bailey Miller. So I mentioned how Jillian Neal is making a homecoming appearance here in San Diego. Well, J.J. Van Niel, no relation, is doing the same thing. After coaching for 4 years at La Costa Canyon High School up in North County, San Diego. Man, that was a beastly team back in the early 2010s. 2010 to 2014, he was the coach there. Also was the head coach for the legendary Coast Volleyball Club, which has just dominated the Southern California travel volleyball scene from 2006 to 2013. He kind of led the charge there and sort of started, what made them what they are today. And on the side, he was a UCSD assistant coach for the men's volleyball team from 2011 to 2014. So J.J. Van Niel, who started out as a finance bro, so to speak, turned his career around as he is successful on this challenge for his team. So it's a 1-0 start for Arizona State. Brainiac loves to use analytics to coach up his players and to scout other teams. All about the ones and zeros for J.J. Van Niel, as there's a service ace for Jillian Neal. 2-0 Sun Devils, and they have just been an absolute boa constrictor against USD. Not much to really analyze from set number 1. It was just dominated from the girls from the desert. Set from Monday. They try to dump it with Erlin. Diving is Neal. She punches this one into the media table. Toreros get their first point of the set. So Neal comes out, and Shania Cromartie comes back into this game. Olivia Bennett, the defensive specialist for USD, is back to serve. Bennett gets this one off. Cromartie hits it. If she let it go, it probably would have gone out. As Sear tight ropes the net, and it's just a little too wide. A point for the Toreros. They tie it at 2 apiece. And this is what kind of the first set started out as, if you really want to provide some more analysis to set number 1. It was very contested up until ASU just remembered who they are, and they decided to pull away. Cromartie with the bump. Here's Ung. Now Sear. This one is too long. ASU having trouble trying to pinpoint their attacks as they trail the Toreros 3-2. Serving again, it's Olivia Bennett, the 5'5" junior from Lexington, Kentucky. Here it comes, a knuckler that barely gets over the net. Bailey Miller comes down with authority, but it's too strong. Another attack error for the Sun Devils. The lead grows 4-2 for USD. A packed crowd here at Jenny Craig Pavilion, a lot larger than USD crowds yesterday against St. John's. Everyone is out to play a ranked opponent as Claire Jeter gives the Sun Devils a side out with the kill. Claire Jeter leads the team in hit percentage, is tied for second place in kills. She trails Jelly Sear, and she's tied with Shania Cromartie. There's Jeter with the serve. Monday sets it up. Ocean Sami. There's the set from Cromartie. They dish it over to Sear, and she gets blocked, but the block goes wide. And all of a sudden, ASU has tied it up at 4. Jeter methodically gets back. Lets it go. Beach. Ocean Sami. Sear got a hand on it. Jeter recovered it. Sear tries again, juggling on the USD side. Now it's Beach, and that one is barely in. Pinpoint accuracy from Nemo Beach as she provides the USD with another point. They take the lead 5-4 as heading back to serve is Kristen Erlin. Erlin whistles this one across, a miscommunication, and Cole Heed just kind of bumps this one into the pole of the netting. 6-4 Toreros. Cole Heed just substituted into this game for Claire Jeter. Here's Erlin again. Topspin there, Schroll has it, Ung. Miller slams it down, and that's an ASU point. Shot out of a cannon off the arm of Bailey Miller. Substitutes as Bailey Miller comes out of this one after securing that kill. Bryn Covell into this matchup, as well as Roberta Rebello, the outside hitter graduate student from Brazil. Covell sends this one over. Monday, Beach, slam with some side spin. Schroll has it, set by Covell. Push over from Sear. Here comes USD. There's a bump from Cromartie. Covell right at the net, puts it up for Rebello, and it gets blocked by the Toreros. Stuff at the line, and it's 7-5 USD. Back to serve for the Toreros, it's Grace Oliva. Didn't see that much playing time last night against St. John's, and that's kind of the whole trend for Jennifer Petrie this match. She's rotating a lot more players than we're used to seeing with St. John's. She kind of stuck to her guns for most of the time. Not the case here, as Rebello sends that one over. Bring it back to ASU. Rebello tries again, pushes it over. There's a diving attempt from Bennett. She keeps it alive. There's a set from Covell. She'll go to the outside and Sear, and it's wide right. Outside hitter Jelly Sear, a little too much spin on that one. She spun it into the USD bench. The lead grows to 3 for the Toreros. Sun Devils trying to lock in on the serve from Oliva, and there's a service error. Toreros might have just done it for them. And if you're an unranked opponent like USD, you give the ranked Sun Devils an inch, they'll take a mile, especially under the reign of J.J. Van Niel, who led the Sun Devils to their best season of all time in 2023. There's a swing from Stoner. Sets it up for Sear. Nice dig by Allen. It's towering in this gym. Beach now swings. Stroll with a diving stop. Here comes Cromartie. She times it up. Gets it over with some topspin. Allen with another nice dig falling onto her chest. There's a stop from Rebello. Beach tries again, and they get the kill. Nemo Beach finally finds a hole as this Sun Devil defense was just rallying, highlighted by the attempts of graduate libero Mary Schroll, who always puts on the acrobatics to keep rallies alive. 3-point deficit still for the Sun Devils, 9-6 USD, as Nemo Beach gears up for the serve. Barely gets that one over the net. Covell to Colheed. This one pancaked by Allen at the net. It's a fight. Now it's USD setting it up for Stoner, who swings and is in there. From our vantage point here on the media table, looked a little too long, but it's a point for the Toreros, 10-6 USD. As Rebello comes out of this one, she's replaced by Argentina Ung. The 6-foot graduate student from Sonora, Mexico, is primarily a setter for this squad, but saw some time as an outside hitter in her underclassmen years at Washington State, as there's a service error for the Toreros. USD has 5 service errors on the afternoon. ASU only has 1. And that's kind of been a reason that the Toreros haven't been able to break away in this set, because of all those service errors. That was service error number 6. 10-7 game. Ung. Jeter tries to dump it up. Ung with the swing, and she brings it down. Argentina Ung brings another point for Arizona State, and it's 10-8. Now it's Mary Schroll back to serve. Six service aces for the Sun Devils in this matchup against University of San Diego. Here's Stoner on the move. She gets stopped at the net. Attack error for Stoner, and we know we could tell from last night that attack on the move for Stoner is just lethal. She can bring down the hammer with the best of them. And they'll say it went off an ASU hand, and this will be USD territory, but they give it right back with the service error. Those service errors continue to plague USD. They have 7, and we're not even through 2 sets. Argentina Ung for Arizona State with 2 hands dribbling the volleyball. Spikes it over on the side spin. In the air for Monday. Here's the swing. It's blocked by Bailey Miller. They can't keep it up. Bailey Miller with the rejection. It's 11-10 ASU within 1. Here's Ung again, trying to tie this one back up in set number 2. Knuckles this one over the net, trying to keep it up is Durham. Nemo sends it across. It's way wide left. Bailey Miller just lets that one fly. It's tied at 11 apiece. Three points in a row for ASU. Trying to get that momentum back. Push over to Durham. It is in there for a USD point. Put a lot of topspin on that one. It was impossible, I'm pretty sure physically. I'm not super caught up on my physics there, but there is no humanly way anyone would be able to get to that one because of the topspin that was put on it. Nice point by USD. So now getting ready to serve, it's Kylie Monday. Gets it across, Schroll with the dig, set by Ung, swing from Jeter, nice dig from Allen for the Toreros. Swing from Durham, spinning in the air, Sear has it, pushed up by Ung, tapped by Miller, tried to sneak that one past him, but the Toreros were ready. There's Ocean Sami floating in the air. Now it's Schroll to Miller, brings it down for the point. Sun Devils tie it back up off the shotgun from Bailey Miller. Jania Cromartie comes out of this one, and it's Jillian Neal back in the game. Played for Wave Volleyball Club, the rival of Coast, where head coach J.J. Van Neal used to coach. And here's a service error for her. And the lead is back for USD, 13-12. So Neal comes out, Cromartie right back in. And now serving for USD, it's Olivia Bennett. Bennett up by 1 against the ranked Sun Devils. Ung pushes it over to Jeter, who floats it. There's a pancake from Allen. Nice job there. Cromartie lunging to her right. Ung sets it up to Jeter. She spikes it. Long time in the air. Bennett over to Beach. Swings it across. It's way wide right. There's a point for the Sun Devils on the attack error. It's Claire Jeter's turn now for ASU as Mary Schroll comes out of this one. The libero wearing the white tops that Arizona wore yesterday. Tied at 13. Monday up to Beach. It gets stopped right at the net. They'll try again. Allen this time to Beach. Sends it over to Sear as the return goes way wide right, almost hitting the media table. 14-3. Toreros reclaim the lead. They won't let the Sun Devils run away with this one. 14-3. USD put up 14 in the first set. ASU won that one 25-14 as the return from Cromartie spins underneath the net. A service ace for number 15, Kristen Erlin. Up by 2. Erlin looking for more in set number 2. Knuckles this one over. That one looked like it was destined to be out. Cromartie played off of it, and some nice touch on that run from Sear goes a little too far to the left. 16-3 as a timeout is called by J.J. Van Neal. So USD starting to show some life after getting pummeled by Arizona State in set number 1. It's 16-13 Toreros as a timeout is called. Stay tuned. My name is Nate Mills. This is NCAA Volleyball on the Blaze Radio Sports Mixler. 16-13 lead for USD in set number 2. They're playing the Arizona State Sun Devils at home at the Jenny Craig Arena Pavilion for the USD Invitational as the Toreros snag another point here, increase their lead to 4. That's the biggest lead they've had all day against ASU, who just looked absolutely dominant in set number 1, winning that one 25-15. Check that, 14. Sent over. Ung has it over to Sear, and she gets blocked by Stoner. Ocean Sami and Stoner were there for the rejection. The lead for USD grows to 5. And Arizona State finding themselves in a situation they did not think they'd be in. They've burned both of their timeouts in set number 2. They trail 18-13 against the USD Toreros. Stay tuned, coming out of the timeout. My name is Nate Mills. This is NCAA Volleyball on the Blaze Radio Sports Mixler. Arizona State finding themselves in a similar position to yesterday in their win against UCSB. They dropped set number 2 after winning set number 1. They're trying to avoid that here, trailing by 5 to USD. Ung sets it up to Miller, who swings it down and gives the Sun Devils a point. Right out the gates, coming out of the timeout, Bailey Miller supplies ASU with their 14th point of the set. She gets subbed out for Bryn Covell. Covell with the serve. Oceansami swings. And that's going to be a point for USD. Waiting on the diagnosis of what the point was called on for the Toreros. And what made it a 19-14 lead. So it was a blocking error by Jelly Sear. So side out USD as Ani Evans gets set. Evans with some topspin. Oon on the move is Colheed, and she brings it home. Savannah Colheed, the graduate student from Indiana, gives the possession back to ASU. On the serve, there's Jelly Sear, dug out by Beach. Long bump over to Beach, and no one is there. Fell into the Bermuda Triangle. Everyone on the Sun Devil side of the court just watched that one fall. USD reaches 20 points. Their lead has grown to 5 over the ranked opponents in the ASU Sun Devils. Nemo Beach is back to serve. Beach with some extra sauce on it is a little too strong. A service error for the Toreros. Side out Sun Devils as Mary Schroll will get things going for ASU. On the serve, pushes it over to Durham, and Schroll touched it last. It trickles into the stands. A point Toreros, 21-16. So it's a sign out for USD. And Maddie Allen back deep, wearing her navy blue long sleeve top as the libero. Side spin here, Jelly Sear with the bump. Here's Cromartie with authority. Nice dig from Ani Evans, handling that laser beam. Some top spin over to Schroll. Claire Jeter brings it down. 21-17 as Claire Jeter sent a missile into the opposition. Covell comes out of this one. Returning to the game is Bailey Miller as Argentina gets set with the serve. Trailing by 4 to the unranked Toreros. Sends it over. Some miscommunication there as this one dribbles underneath the net off the knuckles of USD. 21-18. Here's the serve. Some funky spin. As here's a swing from Durham. Another miscommunication for ASU. Cromartie and Schroll both had their arms extended on that volleyball. It ticked off of both of them and over both of their heads. 22-18. That's a point for the Toreros. They side out, and it's Kylie Monday serving. Schroll with the dig. Swing from Miller. Someone got a finger on it, but it rolls onto the hardwood. Point Sun Devils. Julia Neal replaces Shania Cromartie in a 22-19 set. ASU up 1-0 after a convincing 25-14 victory. Neal with a couple of dribbles, sends this over with no spin. Toppling on the USD side. There's a swing from Oceansami, and off the hands of Claire Jeter. It rolls out of bounds on the right side. 23-19 as Cromartie comes back into the game. Side out USD as Olivia Bennett back deep to serve. There's Bennett. Jeter, nice dig from Allen. Set up for Monday. Ocean Sami tries to touch that one over. It stays on the USD side. Now it's Beach. Cromartie sets it up for Ung. Claire over to Allen with the one-handed dig. Beach, Ung, Jeter. Miller gets stopped, but the block goes out of bounds. ASU keeps it within 3, 23-20 Toreros. Claire Jeter is back there to serve. Jeter with some side spin, sends it over. Ocean Sami gets blocked by Colheed. Sends it high in the air for Ung. There's a swing from Colheed, and the defense sends it into the stands. Point Sun Devils. They are now within 2 from USD as Jennifer Petrie calls a timeout. 23-21, Sun Devils sneaking back into this one in set number 2. You're listening to NCAA Volleyball. My name is Nate Mills on the Blaze Radio Sports Mixler. Coming out of the timeout, ASU have brought it within 2 to USD, 23-21 Toreros. There's a serve from Claire Jeter for the Sun Devils. Nemo Beach with authority, gets dug out by Cromartie, and Jelly Sear can't get there. It rolls off her fist, and it's set point for the Toreros. 24-21. Back to serve, it's Kristen Erlin. Erlin with some top spin to Cromartie. Ung. Miller is too long and too far to the left. Sun Devils drop set number 2 just like they did yesterday against UCSB. We'll go into set number 3 tied at 1. You're listening to NCAA Volleyball on the Blaze Radio Sports Mixler. Back at the Jenny Craig Pavilion, it's Arizona State Volleyball versus the University of San Diego. ASU took set number 1 25-14, but the Toreros rallied back and took set number 2 25-21, a similar feat we saw yesterday for the Sun Devils as they dropped set number 2 against UCSB. They proceeded to win the next 2 after that, but we'll see if the Toreros can flip the script here. They're coming off a pretty brutal loss last night against the St. John's Red Storm. They took the first 2 sets there, and then the Johnnies proceeded to rally across 3 sets in a row to take the W. So USD playing with a little bit of a bad taste in their mouth, and they're trying to prevent that feeling again. They're showing out pretty well against the number 16th ranked team in the country, the only ranked team at this tournament, and the only ranked team that the Toreros will play all season. Jennifer Petrie, their head coach, who's in her 26th season, has been in this situation before. One of the most revered coaches, if not the most revered coach in USD history. Multiple-time WCC Coach of the Year award winner. Her most recent success is bringing her team to the Final Four just 2 years ago in Omaha, Nebraska for the NCAA Volleyball Championships. So ASU looks to have a memory of a goldfish in set number 3 and just wipe it away as the Toreros are set under Kylie Monday, who's ready to kick things off with this serve. We are underway in set 3. There's Mary Schroll to Ung on the right side. It's Colheed, it's wide right. Attack error right out the gates for the Sun Devils, and ASU is down 1-0. Here's Monday. Sun Devils on the bench trying to hype up their starting squad. Here's the serve with some topspin. This one goes too long. A service error for USD. For the Toreros, that's their 9th service error of the afternoon. Only 1 ace to their name for USD. That was the first one of the day. There's the bump from Durham. Set from Monday. There was a swing there. And there's a pancake attempt from Allen, and that will hit the hardwood before she can get there. Point for the Sun Devils, 2-1 ASU. Side out Arizona State as Mary Schroll gets ready to serve. Schroll sends it over. There's a bump from Durham. Monday over to Ocean Sami. Dug by Cromartie. Jeter puts it up. Cromartie again with some extra topspin. Puts that one down. Another Sun Devil point makes it 3-1. Executed perfectly. She hit it where there wasn't anyone. With some topspin coming off the heel of her palm. 3-1 Arizona State. Here's Mary Schroll again, spinning it in her left hand. Lobs it up at medium height. Barely gets it over the net. Some weird side spin from Monday, who hands it over to Durham, and she gets blocked by Claire Jeter. Claire Jeter builds up a wall and makes the Toreros pay. Here's another serve from Mary Schroll. Tries to cut it into the middle. Allen's there. Pushed over to Ocean Sami. It's dug out by Schroll. Pushed over by Ung, and she places it perfectly. Diving attempt from Allen is not enough. 5-1 ASU. ASU coming out firing after that service error. Here's another service error for the Sun Devils. Mary Schroll gets rejected by the nets. Side out Toreros. Here's Olivia Bennett. Covell checks into this game for ASU, as well as Jelly Sear. Bennett can't get it over. There's a service error for USD, 6-2. So Bailey Miller subs in. She replaces Bryn Covell, and Argentina Ung is back to serve. Ung with some side spin. Monday, swing by the Toreros, and it gets down. A kill for Kristen Erlin. Brings it within 3. And pacing behind the line is Erlin. Fresh off the kill. She takes a deep breath. Slaps it across with no spin. Cromartie pushes it up to Jeter, who falls to her knees. Miller pushes it over, and diving on the back end of the court is Sear. She can't get there as she slides across the ground. 6-4 ASU. Jeter cleans the floor herself with a towel from the bench, scraping across the ground with her Adidas sneakers, her all-white Adidas sneakers, making sure everything is in check. The maintenance crew not standing up. Don't move too fast, guys. ASU up by 2. Here's the serve from Erland. Bump by Schroll. Swing from Jeter. Nice recovery from the Toreros. Pushed over by Ocean Sami. Pushed up by Ung. There's a swing from Sear. Dug out by Erland. Sun Devils can't keep it alive as they juggle it on their side. And the Toreros bring it within 1. Erland back to serve again. A 3-0 scoring run for USD as Erland topples that one over. There's the push from Ung. A swing from Cromartie goes off the fingertips of Stoner. And check that. Looks like it didn't touch anyone, and that attack was just wide left. And a timeout is called by J.J. Van Niel as USD has snuck back into this one after a dominant start. And you know what? This is actually a challenge call from J.J. Van Niel. Looked like he made the T symbol with his hands. But this play will be under further review, and I have a feeling he might win this challenge. He was perfect on challenges last night against UC Santa Barbara. We'll see if he can continue that streak here today against the Toreros. He's already successful. He's 1 of 1 so far as they take a look at this play at the media table. Trying to figure out if there was a Torero finger that touched that attack last. And from our vantage point here, it looked like there was a certain amount of spin that indicated some form of involvement of a Torero defender. But we'll see what the review booth has to say about this one. If successful, it would be a side out for ASU. Arizona State having some difficulties with their communications in set number 2. We've seen a few moments where they're unsure about where to go. There's been a few miscues on where they're hitting the volleyball as well as it relates to the placement on their arms. We've seen some spiral into the stands and out of bounds for ASU, so they're just trying to clean up those mistakes. And that's something we saw last night against UCSB as well. Kind of moments where they shoot themselves in the foot and let the other team, kind of sneak back into this game. If USD were to come with a victory here, it'd be quite the upset for Arizona State, who started out the year 14-0 in 2023. Right now they're 4-0, so they're 10 wins away from matching that incredible feat that J.J. Van Niel put in place in his first season as head coach for Arizona State. And, you can never undermine the impact that Van Niel has had on this team. In 2022, Sun Devils were 13-9 and 14-17, or 13-19 and 14-17 the year before that. They had back-to-back 7-13 seasons in conference play. And immediately, once J.J. Van Niel hit the coaching staff, he turned it around and gave him a 28-7 season. As the call stands, it will be a point for USD, and Van Niel doesn't like that one. He gives a friendly grin to the referee, trying to sway him and perhaps get a call later down the road. He scoffs at their reasoning as he slouches back to the sideline. Trying to ask for more explanation here as it's still tied at 6. Patiently waiting to serve is Kristen Erlin. She dribbles the ball around as she paces. Van Niel still having a discussion. Now we'll play on as the whistle blows in a tied set. Set number 3. Here's the serve with some topspin jelly sear on the set. Whistle blows, and that's a violation on the Sun Devils. That's a point for USD as they take the lead 7-6. Shania Cromartie with the attack error awards USD with a free one. Here's the serve from Erlin with extra topspin this time. Cromartie with the dig. Ung over to Cromartie with a little extra mustard there to slam that one down. Tied it back up at 7. And making her NCAA debut, it's Piper Rama. The local from Phoenix, Arizona, hasn't played this season so far. She's a freshman libero. This is her first time. There's her first collegiate serve. It's swung by Stoner, and it's in there, deflected off a hand at the net for ASU. It went wide right, 8-7 USD. She comes right back out, Piper Rama. Ocean Sami getting set up, 8-7 lead with the side spin serve. Here's the swing from Sear. She floats that one down, and with the pancake, it's wide right for USD. Sun Devils bring it back 8-8. Mary Schroll comes out of this game, and Claire Jeter's back to serve. Here it comes, it wrinkles over the net. Monday over to Stoner, on the move. She gets blocked, but it goes outside. Colheed got a hand on it, but it goes wide left. 9-8 Toreros. Substitute as Ani Evans replaces Ocean Sami. We're also seeing Ella Durham coming to this one. Beach with the serve, too strong. There's a service error for Beach. Covell checks in for Bailey Miller, and Covell will be back to serve, tied at 9 in set number 3. Here's the serve with no spin. Beach corrals it. over to Allen. Here's the swing from Durham, and there's a point for the Toreros. The attack is good. So Stoner comes out, and Erlin replaces her. Maddie Allen, the libero, is back to serve. USD has a 1-point lead over Arizona State, 10-9. Here's the serve, towering ball for Ung, who sends it to Sear off the face of Beach. Sun Devils keep it alive. Beach sends it right over. Ung launches it to Colheed, and Beach touched it last. That's a point for ASU. Diving attempt from Nemo Beach, and Arizona State ties it right back. Kristen Erlin ties her shoes as they get set for the serve from Jelly Sear. Sear sends that one over. Set by Monday, swung by Erlin, and it's blocked by the Sun Devils. Colheed with the roof. ASU now has the lead. Here's the serve from Sear. She hits the outside corner, does so. Durham diving attempt from Schroll. There's another dive from Allen, who keeps this one alive. Set over to Colheed. Sends that one over. Now Durham winds up off the fingers of ASU. Schroll keeps this one up. Cromartie sends it over to Beach, calling everyone off his Colheed. Ung dumps it to Cromartie. Nice save from Beach, but it's a little wide left, and ASU makes it 12-10. Just came off hot, and there's not much Beach could do there. I mean, she had her arms in the right position. It's just kind of the spin and the velocity it came at. It was just destined to spin into the bleachers. Top spin on the serve, up 12-10. There's the bump from Erland over to Covell. Pushing it over is Ung on the sneak attack. They hit it off the inside of the net. ASU growing it 13-10. Jelly Sear again. Wrinkles it over the net. Monday is there to recover. There's Durham up to Ung, and Beach can't get there. She punched it off the ankles of Ani Evans, and that's another point for the Sun Devils. A timeout is called as ASU hit a 4-0 scoring run. They take the lead over the Toreros in set number 3. Sun Devils trying to make it 2-1. You're listening to NCAA Volleyball on the Blaze Radio Sports Mixler. Coming out of the timeout, it's 14-10 Arizona State. They're on a 5-0 scoring run, and Jelly Sear back to serve for ASU. Here it comes, some side spin hitting the right side. Monday pushes it over to Durham. Diving stop from Schroll. Keeps that one high in the air. Here's a swing from Cromartie. Tips off the top of the net, keeps it up. Here's Monday over to Durham, and Schroll can't get there this time. A cutty from Durham, and it's 14-11, side out USD. Ani Evans comes out of this one. Ocean Sami returns to the court. Kylie Monday back deep to serve for the Toreros. They end their 5-0 scoring run for the Sun Devils. Trailing by 3, here it comes. Lobs it up to Cromartie, who times it, and dumping it off is Colheed. Colheed was there, right place, right time. Cromartie's swing hit off a pair of hands, and Colheed was perfectly placed to just tip that one across. 15-11 ASU. Here's Mary Schroll, the setter from Tempe, Arizona. Sends it over. Monday lobs it to Ocean Sami off the hands. Schroll is there. Jeter, Cromartie, through the wickets of USD, trying to push it over is Erlin. ASU keeps it alive. Cromartie with some topspin over to Beach. Monday lobs it over to Ocean Sami. Diving is a few Sun Devils, and none can reach it. 15-12, side out USD. So Durham exits, and Olivia Bennett comes in for the serve. ASU leading by 3. In a game that was moving so fast at one point has hit a screeching halt, as a lack of communication there gives USD another service ace, this time from Olivia Bennett. Everyone just kind of looked at each other to see where that one would land. Half step from at least 3 black jerseys. USD down by 2. Here's another serve. Jelly Sear lets everyone know she's got it. Cromartie with the bump on the other side for Ung, who brings it down. Wow, great placement from Argentina Ung to bring home the 16th point for the Sun Devils. Tons of traffic at the net. She was able to get it over everyone with her 6-foot frame and bring a Arizona point and a side out. Here's Ung on the serve. Sends it on the right side. High spin from Monday. Sends it over to Ocean Sami. This one hits off the scoreboard over the net. Here's Cromartie with some top spin, and that one is in by the hair of their chin. 17-13 ASU. 2 very well-placed attacks for the Sun Devils. A team that was struggling to kind of have that pinpoint accuracy early on. They're starting to figure it out. Ung, well placed again, just inside the line. A masterclass of a serve. Ace for ASU. (18-13). Sun Devils up by 5. Beach with the bump. Monday, they feed it back to Beach, and this one is in there for a USD point. And check that, that'll be an ASU point as a timeout is called. 19-13, Arizona State starting to run away. Toreros have used all their timeouts. ASU still has both of them. 19-13, match tied at 1 apiece. Stay with us on the Blaze Radio Sports Mixler. Back from the timeout at Jenny Craig Pavilion, ASU up 19-13 in set number 3, as there's a service error for Argentina Ung and the Sun Devils. USD trailing by 5 after being up early on in this set. Match tied at 1 as Erlin sends this one over for the Toreros. Mary Schroll bumps this one. Now it's Miller who's just a little too strong. Attacking error for the Sun Devils. It's 19-15. Erland again. Off spin. Ung up to Cromartie. Brings it down. Bennett with the dig. It lands into the stands. 20th point for ASU. Coming back into this one, it's Piper Rama, local from Phoenix, Arizona. Back to serve for her hometown Sun Devils. No spin here, and that's an ace for the freshman. Piper Rama's first ace in her collegiate career, and it comes against the USD Toreros. 21-15. Here's Rama again. Minimal spin on this one. Racing over to it is Monday. Here's the attack from Beach. They'll try again with Beach. This time it's deflected by the front line of ASU. Bailey Miller says no. 22-15 off the electrifying block from Bailey Miller. Here's Rama. Tries to hit the right side. Beach gets that one. Now swings. Dig by Schroll. Here's the set over to Miller, who floats it down. Pancake from Allen. Stoner keeps it up. Diving attempt from Jelly Spear. She keeps it alive. Bailey Miller floats it over. Monday. Stoner slams it down. Wow, the attack from Haley Stoner is just explosive as all get out. 22-16, side out Toreros as Kennedy Oshinsami is back to serve. And a timeout is called by the Sun Devils, the first time they've called one this set. 22-16 ASU. Sun Devils trying to wrap this one up and get win number 2 in this match. Tied at 1, 22-16 ASU in this set. You're listening to NCAA Volleyball on the Blaze Radio Sports Mixler. Ready to go here, coming out of the timeout. ASU up 22-16 over the USD Toreros. Match is tied at 1 apiece. ASU took set 1, 25-14. USD brought it back 25-21. Now it stands at 22-16 with Ani Evans getting ready to serve for San Diego. Backspin here, dug by Schroll. Pushed over to Jelly Sear, who slams it down. Sear gets the kill, makes it 23-16. And now Claire Jeter is back to serve. Here's Jeter. Topples this one on the left side. Ung with the bump. Jeter swinging as Miller. She gets rejected at the line. She'll now try to Jelly Sear, who shanks that one off the forearm of Monday. Set point Sun Devils. It's 24-16. Claire Jeter trying to put this one away. Sends it across, spinning above the net. Monday dumps it off and gets a point for USD. Tons of feel for Kylie Monday as she just pushed her fingertips on that ball to nestle that one into Sun Devil territory. 24-17, still set point for ASU as the maintenance crew comes out there again to tend to the wet court. Nemo Beach ready to serve for USD. Still tending to it. It's that problematic area right underneath the net on ASU's side of the court. Here's Beach. Side spin here, that one's out, a service error, and ASU takes set number 3. They are one away from defeating USD and staying undefeated on the season. 25-17 is the final score in set 3. We'll head into set 4. ASU up 2-1. You're listening to NCAA Volleyball. My name is Nate Mills on Blaze Radio Sports Mixler. Arizona State looking to wrap this one up. They're up 2-1 over the University of San Diego, who gave them some troubles in set number 2, but the Sun Devils bounced back well in set 3, winning 25-17. We're underway off the serve from Mary Schroll as Covell sets it up and Cromartie swings a good dig from Monday, but the Toreros can't capitalize. ASU strikes first. So it's Mary Schroll serving for Arizona State. Schroll, too strong on that one. Service error for the Sun Devils. That's just their 5th of the evening compared to USD's 12th. USD serves. It's Bennett sending this one across the net. Ung lunges it over to Cromartie. Allen. Oshinsami with the slam. Kennedy Oshinsami brings it down hard. 2-1 USD. Here's Bennett again. On the right side, Cromartie with the dig. Cromartie with the swing. Dug by Allen. Long hang time. Oshinsami gets stuffed at the net by Argentina Ung. 2-2. This one is tied off the stuff from Argentina. Here's the serve. Nemo swings, gets stuffed, but the block goes out of bounds. USD side out. 3-2. They get the lead back as Kristen Erlin gets set. This one going wide left. All the Sun Devils just watch that one fall. Shania Cromartie comes out, and the true freshman Piper Rama comes in. Here's Rama. Nemo. No. Too wide right. Point to the Sun Devils. It's 4-3. Nemo Beach not missing by much on the right side, as it looks like USD is going to challenge this one. Jennifer Petrie going to the review booth, trying to see if they can get this one back. And really where ASU has just been dominating USD, and it's what's allowed them to get to edge out the Toreros, especially in set number 3, is those 9 aces compared to USD's 2. And even bigger than that, USD's 13 service errors compared to ASU's 5. ASU has been able to minimize those mistakes that we saw in set 2 against USD and last night against UC Santa Barbara. And it's a very similar outcome to what we're seeing last night as well. ASU starting to hit their stride after dropping set 2 against USD. They kind of did the same thing against the Gauchos in last night's contest. But they're looking to hold strong and remain undefeated, at least heading into conference play, where there's some tough outs there in the Big 12. Kansas is ranked 13th, Baylor 23, BYU at 14, and a slew of talent all across that conference. Arizona, a rivalry game. You just know that both teams are going to show out for that one. But the rest of the way for ASU, looks like St. John's tomorrow, Wichita State, number 2 Nebraska in Lincoln for the Nebraska tournament, Long Beach State, Prairie View, Memphis, and Montana State. If I'm Arizona State, and I'm sure they've already done this, I am circling that game on my calendar. I'm sure they circled it all the way back before I even knew that this game was going to be taking place. A big red expo marker on that date in Lincoln, Nebraska, September 13th at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Arizona State fans are going to be locking into that one. But for now, it's USD. They're looking to remain undefeated. That goal, or that expectation set last year of those 14 wins in a row, maybe a little bit harder to come by, having to go through the second best team in the United States. But anything is possible as they're still reviewing this play. The referee checks in with everyone at the media table, and it's a point for Arizona State. The call stands. JJ Van Niel's luck with reviews just continues. Not just calling them out and getting them to go his way, although the last time he did that, it didn't quite go that way. On the opposite end too, every time a call is against him, it seems like it never gets overturned. Here's Beach on the return. Ocean Sami with the swing, and this one's just out. Actually looked like it touched the fingertip of a Sun Devil, so that's a point for USD. As Piper Rama comes out and Shania Cromartie replaces her. Ocean Sami on the attack there, as she is now back to serve. Tied at 4, hits it right into the net. A service error for Ocean Sami. So now it's Claire Jeter with a 5-4 lead over the Toreros. Jeter puts it up, spinning in the air. Monday over to Beach. Dug out by Cromartie. Another swing from Beach. It hits off the hand of Bailey Miller, and that's a side out for the Toreros. Mary Schroll comes back into this one, replacing Claire Jeter. Bennett heads towards the bench for USD, and it's Ella Durham replacing her, as well as Ani Evans. She replaces Kennedy Oceansami. Here's Beach. A laser to Jelly Sear. Ung sets it up to Sear, who topples this one over. Set over to Durham. Top spin. Ung, too tall for Sear, and it goes out of bounds. Sear taking accountability there. She might have mistimed the jump as she continues to grimace as the Toreros take the 6-5 lead. Here's Nemo Beach. Gets it across. Ung, swung by Colheed. There to recover is Cromartie. Now for USD. Monday tries to get this one over. Ung puts it up to Miller. She swings, and this one is too strong. Attack error for the Sun Devils, and USD now up by 2, 7-5. Cromartie has done such a good job this evening cleaning up the mess from all the attack errors and all the commotion at the net. There's so many looks on their faces for ASU that, oh no, this one's gonna fall. And no, Cromartie's right there to pick it up. 7-5, this one sailing over the court, a service error for USD. So Covell comes in, she replaces Bailey Miller, and she will be back to serve. Covell with her squad trailing by 1 in set 3. They win this one, they win the match. Attacks the left side. Beach is there. Monday puts it up for Stoner, who slams it on the move. Signature move for Haley Stoner. USD up by 2. Oh, now Maddie Allen, the libero, puts this one up. Topples it over the net. Ung feeds Jelly Sear, and she's just too strong on that attack as it one-hops the USD bench. Their lead grows to 3 points. (9-6) Toreros. Here's the serve on the right side to Sear. Gives it up to Schroll. Back to Sear, and that one falls on the attack. Hit a couple of hands for USD, and it just trickled down to the hardwood. 9-7 Toreros. Sear on the serve. Didn't look like the Toreros were ready, to be quite honest with you, but it was a service error for Jelly Sear. That accuracy beginning to wane for the Sun Devils. It appeared that they had found a groove in the middle of this set and really of last set. It appears they've lost it. They're trying to look for it here. They attack the right side on the serve. Here's Ung over to Colheed, and she brings it down. Colheed kills a couple of ants as it's now 10-8 USD. Side out Sun Devils as Mary Schroll is back there to serve. Sends it across. Allen with the dig. Monday feeds Erlin. It's dug out by Schroll as Cromartie then swings. It hits off the hands and it lands inbounds against ASU. Wow, what a lucky hop for the Toreros. It just caught the perfect area of all the hands up above the net and just rolled inbounds for ASU. So 11-8 USD, side out Toreros. It's Olivia Bennett. Side spin here. Quick set over to Jeter. This one spiraling into the bleachers off the attempt from Bennett. And really just two players just standing out in my mind right now. Cromartie, I talked about how she's been cleaning up the mess. all evening. And gosh, Argentina just beautiful serves, or sets every single time. It's a perfect feed, pretty much guaranteed for the Sun Devils. Cromartie slaps it down. A point for the Sun Devils. They trail by 1 as Argentina gears up for the serve. Here it comes. On her knees was Monday. Schroll, Miller, soft touch. Ocean Sami. They get it up to Beach, who nestles this one in. Ocean, check that Nemo. Beach off a couple of hands, rolls this one, makes it 12-10. Now it's Erlin serving for the Toreros. Rolls this one over. Over to Jeter. This one looked like it was going to fall. Not for the diving attempt from Monday. Stuffed at the net. Schroll is there to clean it up. Cromartie. Slam. That's a point for ASU. A point for ASU. Trailing by 1, 12-11. Trying to take the lead here with Piper Rama up to serve. Topspin. Ocean Sami brings it down. Kennedy with some little extra thump there makes it 13-11 Toreros. Some substitutions. Piper Rama comes out of this one. Ocean Sami for USD. And now back to serve for the Toreros. It's Ani Evans. Evans barely gets it over. Schroll puts it up for Swing by Jelly Sear. USD plays off it. There's Beach. To Miller. Off a couple of hands, and that's down. A kill from Bailey Miller. It's 13-12. So once again, ASU within 1 point of USD. They're just missing that final piece to at least tie it against the Toreros. Here's Jeter's serve. Spinning for Beach. It gets blocked, but it stays on the Sun Devil side. ASU can't tie it, and USD is back up by 2 once again. Olivia Bennett comes out of this one. Nemo Beach is back to serve. Beach sends it over. Cromartie with the dig. To Miller. Slam off a couple of hands, and that's a point for the Sun Devils. Miller now comes out, and Covell replaces her. Covell will be the one to serve. The center, redshirt freshman from Raleigh, North Carolina. Came in to transfer from Texas A&M with her teammate Claire Jeter. Here's the serve. Towering shot from Beach. There's the swing from Durham. It's spinning in the air. Over to Cromartie. Nice dig there for the Toreros. No one can get there in time. 2 diving attempts. Their skin screeches across the hardwood, but it's not enough. 15-13 Toreros. Just a back and forth affair between these two. And you got the sense that ASU sort of woke up in set number 3. They're letting the Toreros right back into this one. Cromartie skies this one for Schroll, who feeds Jelly Sear, nestles that one over. Toreros recover. Colheed at the net, dumped by Slam from Jelly Sear, and it gets stuffed. Kylie Monday sticks up her arms and buries that one into ASU territory. Up by 3 now. 16-13 Toreros. As Roberta Rabello comes into this one, the graduate outside from Brazil. Maddie Allen back to serve for the Toreros. ASU up 2-1 in the match. There's a slam. Cromartie is there right in time, sliding to her knees. Here's Jelly Sear with the swing. It slides over a couple of hands. USD keeps it alive. Here's a swing from Durham. Troll is there. Here's Roberto, and it's down. Roberto Robello gives the Sun Devils a point. 16-14 USD. Here's Jelly Sear. Sear on the right side. Big bump from the Toreros. They get another one through Durham. Sear almost hits the scoreboard on this one. Swing from Cromartie off the forearm of Beach. Toreros come again with Durham. It gets blocked at the net. Here's a pancake from Cromartie, keeping it alive. Here's Roberta Robello. She tries to sneak that one down. Toreros recover well. Here's the swing. It's wide right. ASU gets the point. And once again, Cromartie just saved that play with the pancake. Jelly Sear with a couple of dribbles. Here she comes, trailing by one. Topples this one over the net. Here's the set to Durham. The swing, it's blocked. It's off the hands of Arizona State, and it's wide right. ASU just cannot tie this set. Ani Evans comes out of this one. Kennedy Oceansami replaces her. Almost like a mental block for Arizona State. It's like they get right there, they get to the goal line, and they just can't run it with Cam Scadaboo. Here's the set for Colheed. USD converges on it. They keep this one up. Spinning it over, there's Covell. Schroll lobs it up to Cromartie. She swings, rejected by the net. Schroll is there to recover, feeds Cromartie once again, tries to send that over. Cromartie's attempt is not enough as she sends this one underneath the net. 18-15, USD grows the lead, and a first timeout called from either side. 18-15, ASU up 2-1 in the match. They're trying to put a bow on this one, but the Toreros won't go down without a fight. It's ASU and USD volleyball at the Jenny Craig Pavilion for the San Diego Invitational. My name is Nate Mills on the Blaze Radio Sports Mixler. Kylie Monday back deep for USD. They're up by 3 over Arizona State, who's trying to clinch another win in this young season. There's a service arrow for the Toreros, and they hand it right back to the Sun Devils. They began their year 4-0. They're trying to make it 5. Mary Schroll with the serve. Here it comes, dug by Durham. There's Monday, who lobs it up to Oceansami. Schroll is there with the dig. Covell, lob from Jelly Sear, and it is perfect. Threaded the needle against the USD opposition, and the Sun Devils are with one. Let's see if they can get over the hump, but not before a timeout is called by Jennifer Petrie. Veteran call for the USD head coach. 18-17 Toreros. I'm Nate Mills on the Blaze Radio Sports Mixler. ASU has brought it within 1. Here's Mary Schroll on the serve. 18-17 USD leads. Here's Oceansami. She's wide left. ASU finally ties USD after a back and forth affair the entirety of the middle half of this set. Middle third, I should say. Middle half is not mathematically possible. 18-18, here's the swing. Cromartie is there. Schroll with a huge effort gets it over the net, diving towards it. She dives once again. Jeter is there. Here's the swing from Cromartie. It goes off of Allen, who brings it back to the ASU side. Here's the swing from Roberta Robello, and it's in. Wow! Like Superwoman, Mary Schroll is there to save the day. 2 dives to keep the play alive. 1 sends it over the net, and 1 kept the rally alive for ASU. And Robello with the exclamation point gives Arizona State the lead. Here's the serve, spun to Ocean Sami, who can't connect on the pancake. 20-18 Sun Devils. Mary Schroll has just been absolutely elite in this match against the Toreros. This one ticks off the top of the net. Here's the feed to Ocean Sami. It gets blocked. Jelly Sear with it to Jeter. Jeter tries again and she brings it down. Claire Jeter makes it 21-18 on the kill. Timeout is called by the Toreros. Sun Devils have taken the lead 21-18 here in the fourth set. Inside the Jenny Craig Pavilion, this is NCAA Volleyball on the Blaze Radio Sports Mixler. Coming out of the timeout, Arizona State has taken the lead over USD in what has been a back and forth battle this entire set. Mary Schroll punctuating this whole set with her theatrics out on the court. Here's a serve to Ocean Sami. Jelly Sear is there with the dig. Here's a swing from Cromartie, and that's a point for the Sun Devils. The block goes wide right for the Toreros. 22-18, and Schroll is back there again. Here's Schroll. Puts it up just over the net. High spin for USD. Here's the swing, and it's wide right. USD handing away 3 points like and actually we'll check that here. It looks like a Sun Devil finger touched that volleyball as it rolled out of bounds. So actually it's a side out for USD, 22-19 ASU. Schroll up to Cromartie. Here's the swing. It gets blocked. Wow, what a stuff by San Diego. On the play there was Maya Kitna, who was just substituted into this game. Huge block there, makes it 22-20. Here's the serve. Cromartie botches it. Jeter can't get there. Service ace for USD. They bring it within one. Timeout is called by JJ Van Niel. They're starting to see a little crease open up for USD, and he wants to stop it right away. 22-21, ASU trying to win and finish this match. USD trying to make it go a little longer. It's NCAA Volleyball. I'm Nate Mills on the Blaze Radio Sports Mixler. Olivia Bennett for USD back deep to serve. They've brought it within one of Arizona State, who's trying to end this game as this trickles over the net. Cromartie is there with the recovery. Jelly Sear off the top of the palm from USD gives the Sun Devils an extra point. Kitna on the defense there, tried to set that one up for her offense, and it went awry as it rolled back into the bleachers. Covell comes out of this one, and the All Big West preseason setter, Argentina Ung, is back deep to serve as she re-enters this game. Ung with the serve. Beach, high lobber, brings it over the net. Ung feeds it over to Jeter, who brings it down and brings it to 24 for Arizona State. Set point for the Sun Devils. ASU is a point away from a 5-0 start to their season. 24-21 against the Toreros. Here's the serve from Ung. Set up for Beach. Check it. Ung. Cromartie. High lobber for the Toreros. Tons of airtime there. Beach with the swing. Couple of fingers get on this one. Schroll feeds it up to Bailey Miller, who swings this time. And this one's down for an ASU point. They take the victory over the USD Toreros in their crib. Sun Devils escape the upset from San Diego, and they begin their season 5-0. USD thought they had some magic here, and it looks like it's going to get challenged here by Jennifer Petrie, the USD head coach. So she says not so fast as we take a look at the replay on the media table. The officials checking it out right now, want to make sure this is as accurate as if possible. If this gets reversed, it'll be a side out USD. It'll be 24-22. If not, ASU comes out victorious, and they'll get ready for St. John's tomorrow afternoon at 12 p.m. Sun Devil fans showing up well, filling these navy seats with maroon and gold shirts. It's a point ASU, and they win. Confirmed. Had to check your sources here. And all the fans chirping behind the Sun Devil bench can do is take a look at the scoreboard. Arizona State wins this one 3-1 against the University of San Diego in a very, very fun matchup this Saturday evening at the Jenny Craig Pavilion. Thank you for listening to NCAA Volleyball on the Blaze Radio Sports Mixler. My name is Nate Mills. Have a great night.